Hi, I'm back, and this is my next update. Like I said in the last video, we're getting ready to leave, and so we're moving out. We are packing up, and so I'm very sorry, but if you see a lot of the mess in the background, please ignore it. I'm sorry. Okay, that being said, let's get on with our video about my trip to North Korea. I'm kidding. It wasn't exactly, that was a little bit of clickbait. But it was more like my trip to a UN negotiation room. In my defense, I did cross the 38th parallel. So, pretty much North Korea. So, my roommates and I are here through this program called ISA. ISA kind of put everything into a bulk package, including like excursions and different, basically like travel deals, but inside of your exchange student deal, and made everything kind of cheaper and more, you could like more interactive in a way. So ISA took us to the DMZ, and here's called Panmunjom. If we're being honest, my goal for the day was to see a North Korean soldier. That's mainly because you know how in The Lion King, Mufasa shows Simba that dark place that he's not allowed to go to, but Simba's like really fascinated. It was kind of like that. So I kind of wanted to see a North Korean soldier to be like, wow, like if I can't go to North Korea, but at least I can see someone from North. Anyway, didn't happen, which was kind of sad. But before I go into my trip to North Korea in quotes, I will show you this. I want to read this to you. This was our little contract that we had to sign. Oh, hello, look who just got, wow, a ton of, this is a brief intervention to show how many K-pop albums my roommate just got for free. What is that? Okay, you can talk.
I don't even know all these groups, but to get into fan signs, you have to buy their album, and so they have literally 55 of everything, and so I just wanted a few I just wanted this one and 3 other ones. And
she give you all of hers?
There's a stack of literally 50 of every one. So they're like, do you want some more? I was like, I mean, I guess. And they're like, take these. There's literally 3 of these worth of albums.
My suitcase, everyone. Can I show the stack? Is this possible? Okay. Little mess in the background. But oh my gosh. Okay, that was a brief intervention. There's a little Facebook group for selling things because everyone's hopping out of here, like I said. And so everyone's desperately trying to get rid of their stuff. So we have people trying to give away rice cookers for free, and I don't know, these weird I got this peanut butter. Peanut butter here is a luxury. I'm sorry, Mom. I know you want me to stop eating peanut butter because I eat peanut butter too much at home already. But I finished it. I finished this, yes. For those involved in my freshman year of college, you all know I like peanut butter a little too much. I got that peanut butter for free. So that's the perks of moving out, you know? This little form, I'm strategically trying to keep my signature out of the shot. But yeah, we had to fill out this contract type thing. I want to show this to you because it's really ominous sounding. The visit to the Joint Security Area, they called it the JSA, at Panmunjom, the DMZ, will entail the entrance into a hostile area and the possibility of injury or death.
Dun, dun,
dun! I was like, what? I read this and I was like, oh my gosh, I just thought this was some happy day trip. But as a result of enemy action, we were entering a war zone, ladies and gentlemen. And then you get there. You expect artillery everywhere. And that's not, you get there and it's like a picnic. But there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, so I understand, but murmurs were going through the group at this point. Anyway, The United Nations Command, the United States of America, and the Republic of Korea cannot guarantee the safety of visitors and may not be held accountable in the event of a hostile enemy act. I was like, oh my god. Okay, here's another thing. Making gestures or associating with personnel from the Korean People's Army or Chinese People's Volunteers side is strictly prohibited. So we were told to keep our hands down, and we couldn't even point. We couldn't even make gestures. Like, you couldn't say, like, oh, look at that. Visitors will not point, make gestures, or expressions like scoffing, because then apparently the North Korean side would take videos and use that. This is what the South Korean soldiers told us. On the bus there, we were told that the North Koreans take videos of visitors sometimes and use that as propaganda. So, for example, up until recently, visitors weren't allowed to wear jeans because the North Korean government essentially brainwashed the North Korean people that jeans were poor people's clothes. So they're like, look how good we have it. We don't wear jeans because jeans are poor people's clothes. Somehow that's been demolished now, that little... so we were allowed to wear jeans. But, yeah, for a while there, visitors weren't allowed to wear jeans. Fun fact. So yeah, anyway, I think that's all that I really wanted to share with you, but we were not allowed straight-faced unless you were turning around and taking a picture. Then you could, I guess, smile for the picture, do it for the gram. But I hate that I just said that. Oh my god. I will never say that again. Okay. Well, from that point on, we went to right in front of the 38th parallel, and basically did our thing. Was a little scary, honestly. The only thing that made it better was looking at all the South Korean personnel, because they were rather good looking. If you ever look up the pictures from the JSA, the soldiers all have these like cool kind of like rounded sunglasses. They're like flat up here but like round at the bottom, and I asked them why they were always wearing sunglasses. It was a little foggy that day. I was like, it's kind of cloudy, kind of foggy. Like, why are you wearing sunglasses? And they said that it's a strategical move. That way the North Koreans don't misunderstand that they're looking at them weirdly, or in a hostile event, they can, like, the North Koreans won't know where they're looking. So they say that they keep their sunglasses on at all times, and so kind of added to the good looking effect, the cool effect. Anyway, I need to calm down. At the place that we were briefed, where we got this contract, though, they had their sunglasses off, and when they were talking to us, they also, most of the time, away from the 38th parallel, they had their sunglasses off as well. So we went inside at that point to a small little UN negotiation room, and there was a table, and at that table were a series of mics and wires, and usually military personnel from both sides would go into that room. That's why it's neutral grounds. Both would go into that room to negotiate. UN negotiation room, right? So there were wires across the table, and actually that wire demarcates the line, so that it's essentially a continuation of the 38th parallel. So right outside as you see in some pictures, both sides of the building were covered in windows, so you could actually see that the wire continues that cement block that's right in the middle between the two Koreas. There were two guards in the room. We were allowed to go past one guard, but we couldn't go past the guard that was on the far side of the room, the side that was like the most into North Korea. So it's kind of fun for us to just kind of step back and forth between the lines, say like North Korea, South Korea, North Korea, South Korea. Like, be immature like that. It was really actually a humbling experience too, to say like this is diplomacy, like this is the work of one war, like because of a war, this is what we're seeing, and essentially this is history, And it was also interesting to think, interesting now to think that nearly a month after my visit, the leaders of the two Koreas actually went right there and had their meeting. Also history. It was a really interesting experience. Right now for this video, I'm trivializing it a lot, but really, if you can, you should go because, really, like when I stepped out there, nothing ever prepared. I know this is so cliche to say, but really, nothing prepares you for seeing it in real life. It's just kind of like seeing it on TV. Like I'm sure it looks the same, but when you get there, it's kind of like eerie. Like I don't know. It just when you step out and it's like so silent and you're not allowed. It was kind of scary. Like at first, it was just kind of like I was kind of jittery because I was like, oh my gosh, like this is real. This is happening. Um, Obviously, no hostile situation happened. I wasn't hoping for one, but like it's interesting, and the guards talk to you on your way up, and but my friends and I actually thought that the guards at one point were mannequins because they did not move. But then once you get on the bus with some of the guards, then they like crack jokes with you and stuff. So a couple fun facts about, I guess, general security in North Korea, or in South Korea. Am I allowed to put this on the internet?
If you know
I don't
about it,
know
North Korea knows about it.
Right, like, North Korea doesn't know this. Like, North Korea's like, tell me something I don't know, and I'm like, oh, I will. Okay. On the way to North Korea, we, basically passed under these, they were
Various structures. Various concrete structures.
Various concrete structures they had advertisements on them too, so essentially like billboards in the US, but basically the South Korean government put dynamite in these, this is so close to saying dynamite, in these structures, and in case of an invasion, they would essentially request that they be blown up. This was the road, and these were where they were, so that they could come crashing down on the road and essentially act as a blockade. So I thought that was really, really interesting. And also, there are three checkpoints, I think, up to the DMZ. And right before you reach even the first checkpoint, for miles before that, there's a chain link fence and several outposts to where some Korean soldiers can stand guard. That's all to prevent any unwelcome visitors, shall we say. Our tour guide was saying that back when technology wasn't as great, they would put little pebbles in the chain link fence, and that way if one of the pebbles in a certain area would fall out, the patrollers would see that there was a disturbance in that area, and then they could go back and investigate and make sure that nothing bad happened. So I was curious though. I asked, like, what if there's a strong wind one day and the pebbles fall out? Isn't that kind of like misleading? And like, isn't that going to give a lot of work for the patrollers? And he said that somehow the pebbles would stay in. Didn't exactly make sense to me how the pebbles would stay in if there's wind, but if there's an invader, the pebbles would know that it was time to fall out. I don't exactly know. But
the pebbles are sentient beings that
no,
know
I know.
to fall out. Pebbles aren't like, oh, wind, I should stay. Oh, an invader, time to go! Like, they're not sentient beings.
No, I know, but like, just I asked that question about the pebbles, right? And like,
yeah,
do you
like,
remember?
I don't think their explanation makes sense.
Yeah, right. Okay, his explanation did not make sense. Thank you, but he was just like, the pebbles don't fall out. So I was like, okay, but. So anyway, fun fact, they used to use pebbles as a security system. Okay, and this is the end of my North Korea segment. Thanks for watching!